Hi everyone, welcome to this week's AMA. Thanks for joining us. We have some interesting things to share today. Herman has joined us as well. He's going to give us the top level and kind of strategic view of what's going on with the project. As you guys heard last week, or maybe read in the recap, there's a lot of good progress being logged in very important parts of the project and the most important parts of the project at the moment. So Herman will hopefully have some further details on those. So I'll just introduce you if you're there.
Thank you, Owen. I don't know if my connection or was his connection that was glitching out a bit. Hopefully it's not mine and everybody can hear me fine. So last week I mentioned that the previous week, 2 weeks ago, I was on a bit of a road trip discussing with various stakeholders, be it existing Cherry ecosystem participants and new ones, perhaps people who were interested at first we had been speaking with, but never quite got or put their foot forward and committed anything. And we discussed perhaps how to revive a partnership or interaction if there ever was one, or how to build something leveraging cherry technologies that still have value regardless of the decreased interest for blockchain technologies of the sort in the corporate sphere. These talks were positive. I discussed a few last time. We will continue pursuing those. In the background, I have no new update about that this week, but I will say that in the background, we are still working a lot to drive those on and see where we can bring. There's at least two that would be interesting, and one that I think is very realistic to achieve within the next few months, and would be a significant boost both to Cherry usage and also to validate our work and what we've built. Two more pressing matters at hand. The technology core development progresses. The storage now is the main focus, but we are still working on maintaining and monitoring the new aspects of the Cherry Relay chain that were recently released in a few version or smaller minor version bumps a few weeks ago, and the EVM parachain as it runs and has been running now for several weeks on mainnet. The next step in this gradual core development is releasing the bridge. Many have asked. It is done. That is the software. We reserve some extra time to release it for various reasons. No point discussing that further. No point delaying this announcement further. It should be out within days. I won't again make solid commitments, but as there had been commitments in the past stating soon, now I can translate the soon into a more specific time frame, which is that of days. An announcement will be forthcoming when we do eventually release it, and a guide will accompany its release so that everybody can try it out themselves and experience both routes of the bridge, both route in from the abstracted tokens that currently are live on the BNB chain and Polygon, as well as Ethereum, though not yet live completely, and the bridge out route, which is from the Cherry Relay chain onto these other networks separate from Cherry. When it comes to the bridge between parachains or between the parachain and the relay chain. That's also been out. So if you want to move chair from relay chain to the EVM parachain, either on test and on mainnet, you can do that easily with 2 simple steps. And once you get your chair on parachain, obtaining the abstracted address by which you can transfer these share tokens, not on the EVM compatibility substrate state, but rather on the EVM compatibility state, that which you access on MetaMask. That is a third step. This is all documented on docs.cherry.network. This is a quite a significant piece of software. It uses a variety of complicated mechanisms to make it fully trustless. We find it a significant accomplishment, and it does allow making not only the Cherry EVM parachain, EVM compatibility parachain, fully compatible with Ethereum. So having this separate state, this separate chain that runs on top of Cherry, but it's still somewhat separate, to be compatible with Ethereum and Ethereum-like networks, and thus enabling developers of either Cherry to launch on Ethereum rapidly and easily, and vice versa. But also the inner workings, the inner transfers between the EVM parachain and the relay chain and other parachains when they do emerge and people develop them. These various softwares that I laid out, these various processes that allowed make the entire system trustless. And I've discussed the value of trustlessness at length before, so I won't bore you with that again. The broader next step, so this is the more immediate next step, but the broader next step, the broader next objective, and this is one that I've described as an iterative next objective, is that of storage. Storage is the core value proposition of Cherry. It has always been and will continue to be. The initial value proposition and the uniqueness of our approach is as unique and as valuable today as it was when we first launched the project. Yes, I understand that interest for products of the sort has changed and, well, to be frank, diminished. We still, however, believe that what we're building has great value, and the way we're building it, which is through slow, constant, incremental improvements, we consider that to be however small, however slow, however gradual path to success. I don't have any specific update to that, but we are working in the background. Hopefully, we'll be able to release some of the code to the public soon enough. We don't expect to have anything tangible, anything that you can work with now. But again, anybody can see on TradeUp that interface to the public blockchain that's been online for now about a year. Anybody can see a little toggle upload to IPFS. If you want to play around with that, you can just click that and see what happens. I'll leave it at that. The mechanism, of course, to uploading it to IPFS and the distribution and the monetization and the management of the data, both as a unit and as chunks distributed to our storage provider network, all that will change and improve and vary as we experiment how and discover new ways and improve new ways. We do have a solid roadmap, great architecture so far, but implementing is, as I said, an iterative process. one that will not be solved, but rather it's one that will be constantly improved with time. With that, I thank you all. Once again, for those just looking for the too long don't read news, flash news, the bridge out route of the cross chain bridge will be out by the end of the week, hopefully. But at least I can promise you that the order is now days. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Herman. As Herman mentioned at the start there was a bit of choppiness with my internet connection. If that persists, then I apologize. But as I said earlier, we are going to recap everything that was said here in as short an order as possible. Hopefully this evening this evening definitely we'll have it out. So if you've missed anything that I said or Herman said, then don't worry, because we'll have that in textual form pretty soon. That was quite promising and encouraging to hear, Herman. He covered the full gamut of things that the community are discussing, from the bridge to tooling, partnerships, and the wider roadmap. So that's great. From our perspective on the business side, I'm going to just briefly touch on something that I'll elaborate on more either tomorrow or on Thursday or on Friday, which is that we're going to, now that the dust is settling on a lot of the good work done by the development team, we're going to go and look at our presence on social networks in particular. And that will involve, we had a small issue with our Twitter, which is now resolved. So what we're going to do is we're going to just kind of try and revitalize the kind of hype chat kind of stuff that we talked about before, or that we used before, sorry, to great effect. We have a lot of things that we could share with the wider tech and crypto sphere through social media. So we're going to just start pushing on with that. I also was thinking about segregating and introducing different channels in the Telegram chat that might be useful. Some people recommended that before. Fantech, for example, said that he's seen that in other projects, and that it's been quite useful. So I'm going to try and put that into practice as well. I think we'll probably have just a kind of text conversation over the next 24, 36 hours as to what kind of content you guys want to see and what kind of content you want to boost from Cherry, and then we can push on with that as well. So that's mainly social media focus from my end for this week. And otherwise, as I said, everything that Herman said, while he was quite concise and brief, it was very, very encouraging, and also speaks to not just plans for the future, but also things that are being delivered as we speak by the development team. And yes, great. There are a couple of people waiting for prizes. I'm going to try and get that resolved as well by Friday. Sorry for the delay with that, guys. My fault. And then we're going to go and probably talk more about some of the business development work next week in the chat as well. So lots to come. The main things that Herman referred to are going strongly. Thanks for your patience while we get the final things with regards to the bridge kind of tucked away. And everything in this call will be recapped later on Notion, and then I'll put the link in our Telegram and actually in our Discord as well, so you guys can kind of review anything that you might have missed, or anything that you wanted to kind of focus on in further detail. As always, you can ask us any questions in the chat. You can always DM me questions as well if you prefer that. That's no problem at all. I'll try and get to them all, and we will speak to you live by video next Wednesday as always. But in the meantime, I'm sure we'll talk on the Telegram chat. John is going to take it away with the quiz now, and very best of luck to everyone joining in the quiz, and I will talk to you guys later when I'm posting the recap of this AMA. Thank you all for joining in.